Hi YouTube! So it has been a little while since I did a favorites video, and I don't think I'm going to do those monthly anymore, but there's some things I wanted to talk about. I also just wanted to give kind of a general life update for what's been going on in the winter of 2019 for me. And if you are seeing this as it comes out, I am on a boat. I might be vlogging from the boat. I'm not yet sure. I'm trying to take a real vacation, and I'm taking a vacation where there is not really going to be internet access, and I'm not bringing my computer, which is a big deal for me. I'm going on a nerd cruise. Some of you have heard of the Joko cruise. I am doing that. So I wanted to have a video come out while I am on that boat, and I thought I would do this little update, record it now, and post it then. So, generally, this winter has been, I would say, particularly January and February, I am like starting to get my energy moving again, which is a big thank God, because I had a really slow summer and fall last year, and I mean not slow in terms of like spiritual development, but slow in terms of physical energy and ability to get things done. So I feel like January and February so far, they've both ended. The winter so far, January and February had a little more energy, a little more productivity. I switched from doing my work in this bed right here. I work from home. I used to always lie down to work, and I'm like, look, you can't do this anymore. So I now actually sit at my desk in the living room when I do my job, which I think has had a major impact. And as you've seen from some of the videos that I put out recently, I've been doing things like the KonMari reset and taking care of decluttering in my space. I did the 31 Days of Tarot challenge in January. I did the Soul Tarot challenge on Instagram in February. So I've been doing a bunch of different things, and I feel like I'm like really feeling the upcoming spring equinox strongly. Like I feel like this is a transition for me with the equinox of my birthday, the beginning of the month. It feels like we are shifting from one year to another at this time. So, I know some witches in particular honor the spring equinox as the new year, and I can kind of see why, because I'm definitely feeling that. And the shift from Pisces to Aries coming up, it feels like it's going to be good. And it feels like it's going to be good to take this vacation right before that and kind of be ready to move forward. I posted on Instagram, which you can check out, it's just at Avery Fawcett, about some sort of thoughts that I've had about the last year, and about how this is a star year for me, in addition to being a collectively an Empress Hangman year, and some thoughts about that. It's also like when I did a poll for the year, a year ahead kind of spread, I came up with the High Priestess as a teacher, and then I had Crystal at Power Femme Tarot do the annual like Femcast reading for me, and Crystal drew the equivalent in this little holler of the Queen of Cups. So there's like a lot of internal healing, intuition, etc. kind of energy for me this year, which can be frustrating, because I feel like I'm about to like move forward and it's like go, and so those energies don't necessarily make sense, but I think integrating them together will be an important part of the year for me. In terms of some favorites and some things that I have been thinking about doing lately, I recently marathoned all of the Try Guys. I will do this sometimes. I'll like pick a YouTube channel, just suddenly decide I like it, and then watch 300 videos. So I marathoned the Try Guys. I know I'm real late to that. I watched the Marie Kondo series. I had mixed feelings, but I really loved that last episode. That couple made me very happy. And then let's see. I I don't really have any specific sort of vegan recommendations, although I am planning a trip in the fall to Montreal with my dad. I'm really excited about in September, and there are so many vegan places I want to try out. There's also a Quebecois restaurant, like it's a chain called, I think it's Quebecois, it might be based in Ontario, but anyway, it's called Copper Branch, I believe. It's a plant-based franchise, and they randomly have, they're all over Canada, but they randomly have a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, which is the city out of which I will be cruising next week, so I'm also excited to go there. And other than that, I think most of the favorites I have are actually decks. So I'm gonna I'm not gonna flip through these because I do want to get back into doing deck reviews and doing full walkthroughs, but these are just some of the decks that I've been working with through the winter. So the Wanderer's Tarot, I think I've shown on the channel before, the Dark Days. That and the Wanderer's Tarot I worked with a ton together in December. Found that they were both really good decks for the kind of void energy that we were astrologically feeling at that time. So really solid deck. There are a couple things that are tough about this deck. One is it is that matte finish that sometimes sticks together. It makes it hard to shuffle. Like, it feels beautiful in your hands, but when you try to shuffle, sometimes you're like, I can't get the cards to separate. And also it's really hard to tell reversals because some of the minor cards have the number on top and some have it on the bottom. And they're Roman numerals. So a lot of them look the same either way, so I don't know what I pulled. So those are my only complaints, but it is an amazing deck. I will do a full walkthrough. One deck that I think I showed this when I was doing the why I don't do unboxings with an unboxing. This Mini Queens, if you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen I've been using it for the Soul Tarot Challenge. This deck, y'all, I really recommend this deck. It's super feminist, it's super queer. There are a lot of nipples, so if you have any problem with nipples, if you don't want this deck, and some vulvas, I think, or at least some pubic hair. Like I said, very feminist. So this deck, the idea of many queens, of like working with the idea of queen energy, I really want to do a video exploring that because I've been thinking about all the things that the word queen can mean, not just the tarot queens, but like the word queen. And working with this deck has been super interesting, but it's really, really good. Get this while you can. And then real recently, but like immediately fell for this deck, the Spirit Speak. A lot of folks have this deck already. This is a Mary Elizabeth Evans deck, and it's, you know, it's not sketchy like sketchy, but sketched. Black on white. I wasn't sure that I would like that kind of thing. I tend to be into like real high kind of, I guess high production value isn't quite the word, but like a very realistic art style. Fell in love with this deck right away. Like BFF deck. Like the Next World is like the deck that I'm like serious crushing, like let's date deck. This is my BFF deck. Maybe I'll do a Snog Marry Avoid VR after this. Because that made me think of it, but yeah, it just like I immediately connected. It gives really clear, strong messages right off the top. And then I started last month. I did my first Lenormand reading. I started studying some Lenormand. Focus. Come on, focus. This is the Claire de Lune Lenormand deck, which is great, and I'm a little resistant to Lenormand in general, or it's not as natural for me because with tarot, like the kind of intuitive, like, I don't want to say wishy-washy, but kind of like flowy nature of it, where it's all about emotions and it's like almost like therapy, and it's, you know, like Lenormand is much more, I think, concrete, and it's like not fortune telling. I mean, it is fortune telling, but not everybody treats it as fortune telling, but it's more like what will happen, or what do I need to know, and very specific. And so I don't have a lot of questions like that, or I don't always know how to read it, but I did my first reading. Didn't really make a lot of sense, to be perfectly honest, but I'm still open to it. And then the last 2 decks I got together, one was the Empty Cup Oracle. It's amazing! I saw that Stasia Burrington had a new deck, and I literally didn't even look at the images. I was just like, pre-order, do it. So I will definitely do a review of this. Really good for like self-care stuff, and the guidebook is amazing. It really is. So if you like the Sazerabito, same person, check this out. And then finally, I know a million people have this, and it's pretty cheap on Amazon, so I don't know why I didn't get it earlier, but I had been considering this Work Your Light Oracle because I think I mentioned in one of the January videos, I'm not exactly a fan of the Star Child, but I like the Star Child palette, and like there's like this is sort of similar art-wise, but for some reason it works better for me. And I have found that these pools to be like wicked accurate. So like if you just need to pull a card for a message, great thing to have with you. And I'm gonna take this with me on the boat. I'm taking a few decks. Like I think it's nice sometimes to have decks that are readily available and not that expensive. Even if you love them, you can take them with you, and if they get lost, you can buy another one, because a lot of my favorite decks I would love to read for people on the boat. We're doing a couple of tarot meetups where people can read for each other, but I don't feel quite ready to bring my favorite decks with me, particularly those that are out of print. So anyway, yeah, that was a little bit rambly, but that's what's been going on with me. So I hope you are all well, and looking forward to the turn of the seasons, and have a great week. I'll see you when I get back.